Here's my view of Attack on Titan, Chapter 123, Devils of the Island. And, not gonna lie, first half of this chapter was a little disappointing when I first read it. I mean, yes, it's important. There's some definitely important stuff in here, but it feels like this could have been, included earlier on when they were, questioning Eren back then. I mean, last chapter, Eren literally freed a girl from slavery and was granted the powers of a freaking god. And this chapter, they're buying ice cream. Yeah, that's definitely a step down. When I first turned it on, scrolling, like, this is the future. Eren saved the world. This is the new world order he's built together. I'm like, oh, wait, no, this is a flashback. Dang. Again, though, overall, I enjoy this chapter. I want more of what's going on with the main story. I mean, especially after this one ended. I want to know what happens next. I need to know. But, alright, let's get into it. So the chapter starts off with Mikasa wondering if Eren changed, or if this was always who he was, always who he was destined to be. And if that was the case, then did she see him as he truly was, or did she just see this version of him? The version that's, wrapped the scarf around the scared little girl. So is that what attracted her to him? Is his ruthlessness part of the reason she was in love with him? I mean, what exactly did she see him as? This is really her wondering it, and I think down the road, Eren's wondering that himself. Get into that. Anyway, yeah, so they're all on a boat going to Marley. And of course, they just keep saying out loud, "We're from inside the walls." Because they have absolutely no sense of tact whatsoever. And Potato Girl's back, which is a mixed feeling. I still have this feeling that she's going to end up coming back by the end of the series, like Eren's new powers let him revive the dead or something, somehow, or time travel, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And so the survey begins. I just love that, the Survey Corp, their job was to investigate outside the walls, and now they are really far outside the freaking walls. Outside of every limitation they've ever been under. They're free. Anyway, then they see a car, which they think is an animal, and try feeding a carrot to it. Utterly ridiculous, but I like a little detail there. That was really funny. And Eren is just seeing all this with this strange look upon his face. You realize, he's seen all this, or at least part of it before. This is essentially the homeland of his memories. The place his father knew, the place his father grew up and was raised in. So to him, it's a very different experience. He's seeing things with his own eyes that he's only seen through the eyes of others before. And Armin is just so overwhelmingly happy right here. It's actually kind of freaky. We're in the outside world, Eren. We did it. We accomplished our big life goal. And Eren's just like, yeah, I guess you're right. We're on the other side of the sea, huh? And Eren is still not happy. This could be because he already seen the future. He knows what's coming. Or it could just be because he knows the truth about this country, how truly, terribly awful these people are, which we'll see for ourselves very quickly. And then they go buy ice cream, which is probably going to label this episode. They ate ice cream, Attack on Titan Chapter 123 review. I could use, one of the final images of the everything, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who comes across this video without having read the chapter yet. So I think I'm just going to talk about ice cream. Use that as the title card. Of course, they're making a big commotion about all this, but they're like, so that helps our cover. If it looks like we're a bunch of idiot children, they aren't going to think we're evil devils. I mean, reminds me back to when Reiner was telling the story about how the people on the island, how they fought over Potato and how she tried to give back and all that. And, she was like, wait a minute, those people don't sound like devils. So yeah, this definitely isn't the idea they'd have in mind for what the devils look like. And then a clown shows up and treats Levi like a kid, and I gotta respect his self-control for not slitting that clown's throat right then and there. I mean, this is Levi we're talking about. He definitely could have done it very easily. And Mikasa loves the ice cream, and she smiles. Yay! And then she tries sharing some of the ice cream with him, and he's like, oh, it's ice cream. She's like, oh, you know about it? Yeah, I remember it from my dad's memories. We couldn't have it very often because everyone was horrible and racist to us. And then Potato Girl gets her wallet stolen, and we see the true evils of this world. They realize he's an immigrant and threaten to throw him in the sea, or smash his hands, or hang him on the street for everyone to see to deter other thieves. And even when Sasha's like, no, it's fine. It was just my wallet. It's not a big deal. Like, no, this doesn't concern you anymore. This is for our own safety. We need to kill him right here and now. And what if he's a subject of Ymir? We couldn't have that kind of monster living. Well, that's better just to kill all the immigrants right here and now. So, yeah, very, very bad people all around. Thankfully, Levi steps in and says it's just his sister's cousin's whatever wallet. And they're like, we don't believe you. He was like, all right. And then he just runs away with the kid, who then still proceeds to steal his wallet. Not the best. I don't really understand this kid's logic, but whatever. They save the kid. Good for them. And they go see Mikasa's cousin or whatever, Azumabito. I can't pronounce that name. You know who I'm talking about. This lady right here. And she basically tells them that now they have a blood test to determine who is a true subject Ymir and who isn't. Which I am quite curious about how that works. How the blood, dissipates over time. Like, if your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a subject Ymir, does that mean you can turn into a Titan? I mean, does it dilute over time? Or if it's like any one of your ancestors was a subject Ymir, then that means you're essentially a devil. And of course, given the current technology of these people, I'm going to assume the blood tests are not 100% accurate in any way whatsoever. Just based on what I've seen so far, even now, drug tests fail quite often. I've seen people do, 23andMe, whatever, DNA test where they've, like, sisters have done it, true sisters, and be like, okay, it says we have no relatives in common, so that's not work. And people even done, different DNA tests with different companies, gotten completely different results. So I'm going to assume that the DNA blood test, whatever, is just more or less a scam. I mean, that being said, I'm assuming it's some complex thing, but it might just be, they pour a little Titan spinal cord fluid on the blood and see if it reacts. That would probably be a lot more accurate, honestly. And as scouting regiments realizing just how much they're truly hated outside the walls, they're starting to wonder if their whole plan for peace is even possible. Is it possible to, meet up with the foreign nations and make peace with them, or are they going to be just as hated there? If that's the case, is their only plan to partner up with Zeke and essentially continue sacrificing Historia and all of her descendants just to keep power in check? I mean, they're still optimistic. They can, meet with the whole free Ymir subjects group, whatever, and make some kind of peaceful agreement, declare that Paradise Island just wants to be free. They want the right to exist. And then everyone realizes, hey, wait a minute. That guy that's responsible for all of our safety and who's being currently hunted as the most dangerous man in the world, where did he go? Yeah, somehow Eren managed to sneak out without anyone, even Mikasa, noticing. So that's interesting right there. I mean, she even admonished him, saying, you're the enemy's primary target. How can you just wander around? And I'm just wondering, then why the freak did you come here? Why did you bring Eren? What was the point of bringing him? I mean, honestly. I mean, Armin is enough for, protection, keeping everyone safe. Why did you need to bring the guy that's most recognizable? In fact, why did any of you need to come? I mean, I'm hoping, they did this at a time when Reiner and anyone else who might recognize them is off on some mission fighting in a war somewhere. But they'd bumped into Reiner in the middle of the streets. That would have gone very poorly. Like, really, really poorly for them. So yeah, that would have been interesting. I guess for some reason they didn't think they had to worry about that, but whatever, moving on. Eren's definitely crying as he's looking at the refugees of war who are camped out there. And Mikasa asks him, did something happen? He responds, not yet, which I think is two meanings. Either one, he just knows how awful these people are to immigrants, and he knows that sooner or later they're going to just come in and murder them or enslave them or just do horrible, horrible things to them. Or two, he just knows that sooner or later he's going to end up murdering all of them. We see in the future, he sees, everyone else on the planet dying, I'm guessing, so not a good fate for them either way. I mean, again, though, I think I'm leaning more towards the first one, where he just knows that he's seen the future. He knows that sooner or later these immigrants will be killed. Similar to the experience he went through, where because he was an immigrant, because he was, from the furthest out wall and came in seeking shelter and refuge, he was treated like garbage, beaten and whatever. He knows the same thing will happen to them, and probably worse, because these people are even worse than the people inside the walls, which I did not think was possible. And then things get, interesting. Eren basically asks Mikasa, hey, why are you so obsessed with me? What am I to you? And blushing Mikasa is absolutely freaking adorable. I love it. I mean, she basically, lies and says they're just family, and later on wonders, oh, if I confessed my love to him then, would he have stopped? But I don't think that's the case right here. I think this is more Eren questioning himself. He's looking for that humanity inside of him and looking to Mika saying, you're obsessed with me. Why? What do you see in me that makes you have such absolute faith in me, that makes you want to protect me? I need to know that so I can decide what am I going to do next. What path should I take? I mean, he's seeing the path. He's seeing the future. He knows what he's essentially destined to do, what his future self told him he had to do. And so now he's wondering, is that the right path? And he's hoping Mikasa can talk him out of it in a way. She can tell him that, he has this goodness in him that will convince him there's another way, but she doesn't, I mean, she says later on in the chapter, she wonders if she had changed her answer then, if she had said something different, if they could have gone down a different path, but I think even if, she had confessed her love to him right then and there, that it wouldn't have changed what he knew he had to do, what he has done already. But again, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. What was Eren really asking here? And would Mika's answer have changed anything? Anyway, then I'm going to call them Moroccans because they kind of look like people from Morocco. I apologize if that's racist at all. But it looks like a Moroccan hat and the outfits seem Moroccan to me. So, Morocco. Anyway, the Moroccans then invite them in to have some drinks and they all get absolutely freaking wasted drinking and feasting, and before long they're all celebrating and partying and laughing aloud. It looks like Sasha actually got the kid drunk, which definitely something wrong with that, but the family doesn't seem to mind. And they're all laughing and smiling. Even Eren's smiling at this point. And then Levi and Hanji show up to find that they're all passed out drunk. I really do love this shot of Eren and Mikasa and Armin all together for what is arguably the last time. Then they go to the referendum, the people demanding freedom and peace for the subjects of Ymir, and it does not go well. Essentially, their plan is to blame everything on the island, the people on Paradise Island. They're the real devils, they're the real enemies, they're the ones we need to confront and kill and get rid of. So yeah, that could have gone better. I mean, you gotta love that, all the Paradise Island people are just, shocked and horrified by this, while the Mikasa's cousin, whatever, is just, has her head in her hand, oh, this is bad. Okay, how do I fix this? And this is, the last straw for Eren. He sees this, and his future is confirmed. What his future self showed him is confirmed. It's set in stone. He realizes that this is the time where he has to go and do Zeke's plan, at least until he can betray Zeke and do his own plan. And as Mikasa says, the next time our faces met, it was already too late. He was set in stone with his path, with the decisions and plans he had made, so there was no turning back from that point. And then we see Eren, and, yeah, he got thick. I mean, he still doesn't have any flesh on that body yet, but he big. I mean, it's a little hard to tell in this first shot because of just the perspective, but if you compare the Titans right next to him, who are all the size of the freaking wall, he's 5 or 6 or 10 times their freaking size. I mean, Colossal Titan, could go up to his head overcame the wall. The Rod Reese Titan, he was about twice the size of the wall. This Titan could literally step on both of them and kill them. So, yeah, he's big. He is big. I saw an interesting thing online that he's Jormungandr, the snake that wraps around the entire world, that appears for Ragnarok, the end of days. Which would make the thing that attached itself to Ymir Nidhogg, the dragon that eats upon the roots of the world tree. So a lot of Norse mythology going on here. And you just gotta love, with the rumbling, you can't actually make out what they're saying. I'm really interesting to see just how this is portrayed in the anime. I mean, subtitles, that'll be different, but just, you can't really hear their words, just this huge rumbling sound all around them. I think it'd be really cool. I really liked how it was done here. Essentially, Mikasa has to go right up to Armin's ear and say, "What's that, Sonny? Say little Timmy fell in the well?" Which I just love. That was such a, nice little thing. And Armin decides to stay in denial for a little bit, saying, "Don't you see? If Eren did this, it means he's on our side. It means he won, and now he's gonna crush the invading forces, and then we're all gonna be okay. We're all gonna be okay, right? We're all gonna be okay." And Zeke's whole little cult realizes, oh, our guy lost, didn't he? Well, that sucks. And then Armin's whole denial thing kind of breaks down when he realizes that it wasn't just Shiganshie's outer wall that he freed the Titans from. It was all of Wall Maria. There are hundreds, thousands of these colossal Titans at Eren's disposal now, and Armin's confused. He's like, he wouldn't need this much to take out the enemy forces. Well, what's he doing here? I mean, he realizes this is overkill, and he's, his self-denial is turning into pure panic here. I will say this, though. I am glad the walls are gone. I said whether or not the rumbling happened, whether or not, whoever won this battle, I felt the walls needed to come down. They were a sign of oppression of the world he's been living in his entire life, the things that have held him back, that have kept him from experiencing freedom, and they needed to go for the sake of everyone. I'm curious, though, if it's Wall Maria or all three walls that have come down. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I think Maria is the furthest one out, so they have the most Titans in it. But still, why not get rid of the other two while we're at it? And then Armin and Mikasa find themselves in the other dimension, as Eren uses his coordinate power to literally talk to every single subject in Mirror at once. Which has a lot of implications. I'm curious if, Annie heard it, because I could definitely see that this being, what wakes her up from her crystal, like, oh, that freaking moron is about to destroy the world. I need to get up. I need to wake up and go kick his butt. Definitely be a good way to get all the Titans together for the final showdown. I was just really curious what the subjects see me here, Beck and Marley thinking their subjugation. Like, oh, dang, so this is bad. I mean, one hand I kind of feel bad for them. The other, they've vilified the devils of Paradise Island for a long time. No, that's what they've been taught and whatnot, but still, they hate Eren and his group as much as the Marleyans do, so yeah, they probably need to die as well. Oh yeah, then we see Reiner and little female Eren, and they're realizing, oh, dang, we done effed up here. We definitely should have killed him when we had the chance. Someone reminded me back in chapter 50 where Reiner said to himself, Eren is the worst possible person in the world to have this power, and, hey, you were right! Just took us 70-odd chapters to realize that. So, yeah, it was definitely the worst person to have it, because he's the one who's actually going to be able to use it to its full potential. And I mean full potential! And we see all the other subjects in here all over the world who are hearing this message, and that might be Historia right there. I mean, she looks kind of pregnant, and she's front and center, turn around, but it might be. That definitely curious what she's thinking about all this. Like, oh God, what the hell is wrong with that man? And then Eren gives his speech. My objective is protect the people of Paradise, the place where I was born and raised. However, the world wishes for the annihilation of the people of Paradise. The hatred that has been swelling up for so long certainly will not end. Until not just the Paradisians, but all the Ymir's subjects have been eliminated. I reject this wish. The Wall Titans shall trample all Earth outside the island underfoot, until all life existing there has been exterminated from this world. So, yeah. Eren's going the genocide route. I kind of saw that coming to a certain extent. I assumed at least, he'd destroy Marley and then, use his Titan powers to take over the rest of the world, have them all, fear him, subjugate themselves to him, whatnot. But no, he's going the full, I'm going to kill everyone on this freaking planet route, which, okay. You do you, Eren, you do you. And I just got to take a moment to talk about his freaking face here. I mean, it is literally the stuff of nightmares. I'm actually kind of curious, though, if this is his Titan form, or if this is just what his human face has been turned into from all the raw power he's absorbed into himself by this point. I'm honestly not sure which, and that's kind of terrifying to think about on its own. So yeah, Eren's declared war on the entire world, which, he already did before, but now he's, following through with that. With about 10,000 nukes at his disposal that he can use basically just to destroy everything. Not really sure what's going to happen next. I kind of feel my gut instinct is that the entire world, including the Paradisians, are going to team up, take out Eren, and be like, all right, well, now the Titans are gone because we killed the source of them all, so no more Titans. You don't have any reason to fear us, so let's just live in peace from now on. Again, that seems kind of unlikely, but they feel like that's what it's been building up to. I mean, even, when the fake Warhammer Titan guy was given the whole speech about the evils of the Paradise Islands, he focused all the hatred on Eren as the source of all their reasons for, their fear. Everything they should fear is because of Eren. And then Eren, literally popped out and ate him and killed a bunch of people. So in the Marleyans' eyes, Eren is the big threat, the big bad, the worst of the worst. And if they can kill him and get rid of the Titans at the same time, I feel like that's definitely going to calm down a lot of them. Turn them from hating all the Eldian people to just hating him and being able to move on a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying, they're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but just, not actively trying to murder each other. That being said, I would actually like to see the rumbling, work, like actually killing the entire planet except the small island, everyone on it. That would be pretty freaking epic way to end this series, I gotta admit. Not really sure what that'd be saying about, this key to world peace, but it'd be interesting. Yeah, also, I kind of feel like Eren's forgotten a lot of the lessons he's learned. I mean, don't forget, he's seeing the people inside the walls actively try to kill each other quite a bit. Killing everyone else in the world isn't going to bring about world peace. I mean, I think it was even said, world peace can only be achieved when humanity's numbers fall to 1 or fewer. I think Prick said that some time ago. Just not sure, honestly. I definitely think Annie's coming back, and I think she's been, she heard the message, she's like, okay, I gotta go beat some sense into that boy, and then then they'll have the female Titan, the Pack Mule Titan, Jaw Titan, and the Armor Titan, all fighting against Eren. Definitely see Eren eating a few of them, but the, I want to say the Jaw Titan, was it? He just recently formed, Falco was it, or whatever, where he saved him. So, it feels weird to pass on the power just to, have the power taken away and have him killed. Though I think it would make sense, if Eren can just take the powers back, he can just touch the person and absorb their Titanish into his body. And then, get all 7, all whatever was 7 or 9, the Primal Titans back into him and become the true source, the Nihog, the god, essentially, of everything. Not really sure how much more powerful he can become than he already is, but that'd definitely be interesting. And then stopping Eren would be difficult. I mean, we've seen his size, so I'm going to assume the nape of his neck is quite large at this point. Let's say, the size of a building, so cutting it would not be easy. I mean, has Eren now become like the final villain of the series where they're just all going to team up to kill him? I'm not sure, really. But yeah, let me know think down below. How does everyone react to Eren declaring genocide? I think it's going to be a lot of... I honestly wouldn't mind the whole next chapter just everyone reacting and debating about what to do next. I mean, I'm sure some of them are going to be like, we need to save the world. Others will be like, are you sure that's the best idea? I mean, I think his plan is pretty soundproof right now. Definitely saying the next chapter's going to end with Annie, peering behind them saying, okay, what has this idiot got himself into now? But yeah, let me know what you think down below. What is Eren's plan going to work? Like I said, I'd like it if he did it, just absolutely wiped out the whole planet. That'd be a pretty epic way to end the series, but I'd like it if, at least got to Marley and drove that city into the dust. I feel like they deserve to die. He gets rid of the worst parts of the people, the ones who hate him the most, and the rest of the world might look a little better on him. Maybe. Like I said, though, it does seem like he's been trying with all of his might to focus the world's hatred on him for a particular reason. Maybe his plan is just this right here and now, to kill enough people so that his death is the center of all the hate, and then they can move on. But again, let me know what you think down below. Is that his plan? Is he planning something else? What's going to happen? Who's going to side with him? Who's going to side against him? Be sure to like and subscribe. See you in this next video. Until then, peace.